Even Olympians are not immune from the cruelty of COVID-19. The pandemic striking some of the world's top athletes, including a U.S. gymnast just days before the opening ceremony. Catching COVID early this year cost Priscilla Loomis more than 8 weeks of training. The American Antiguan high jumper still has trouble breathing.
Absolutely devastated. I am heartbroken. I'm in healing right now. I'm in mourning.
Loomis says she ignored doctors' advice and kept training, but failed to qualify for Tokyo 2020.
This was it. This was my final curtain bow.
British rower Una Cousins qualified for the Olympics in March 2020. She came down with a serious case of long COVID, leaving her with chronic fatigue.
I'm really struggling to exercise still. Kind of by comparison, I was doing like 35 hours of training a week when I was well, and now I can probably do like 3 20-minute sessions in a week, super lightly.
And this is more than a year later.
Yeah, I just really struggled with really intense fatigue.
Cousins calls her coronavirus battle an emotional roller coaster.
We are dealing with a disease that we didn't even know how to define a year ago.
CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta says researchers don't fully know why the virus hits some people harder than others.
So if you're an athlete, you could have symptoms from COVID that last a long time and really impact your performance for a long time as well.
Are these athletes putting themselves at risk if they're coming here?
I think it's really tough to justify bringing 206 countries, states, and territories together in the middle of a pandemic.
A risk Vinesh Phogat is willing to take. The Indian wrestler is a gold medal favorite, #1 in her category. She says postponing competition by a year was an even bigger challenge than catching the coronavirus.
I had to start my training again from scratch. It was very difficult.
Surging cases in Japan and the world mean Olympians won't have fans in the stands cheering them on. Nobody knows if nearly empty venues will be enough to stop the Summer Games from becoming a super spreader event. At Tokyo 2020, not just Olympic dreams, lives are on the line.